Well, it's time for Little People Big World Season 25. Some people thought that this show was canceled forever, but nope. This show will never die. It'll always be here, apparently. And the first episode is called On a Knife's Edge, and unfortunately, this is a reference to Zach's health. And the show starts on a very awful note, to be honest. It's kind of depressing. We're getting iPhone footage of Zach in pain with a major migraine. Apparently, he was vomiting from the pain. It's no joke. And they're in the ER. And we know from their podcast that basically Zach has had headaches for about 10 years. And every test said, his shunt's not the issue. His shunt's not the issue. Well, guess what? His shunt was actually a huge issue, and Amy says that some little people go through this every year. So, Amy to the rescue, she comes in to watch Tori and Zach's kids, and any information Tori was giving her, she would relay it to the kids and Matt. There's a lot of B-roll, so I think this actually happened right before they started filming. Long story short, Zach kept saying that he was dying and his vitals were not good. He had to go for an emergency brain surgery, and they replaced the shunt, the valves, the catheter, all the parts of his medical device. Apparently, shunts, which we're learning about on this episode, have a lifespan of 2 to 15 years, and he had had his in for 16. So they were already on borrowed time and probably should have clued in that his headaches had something to do with the shunt. Now, we're watching Amy watch her dog, and we learn that Chris was so bored with no one to talk to while Amy was at Zach's, but he took care of Daisy and handled the business. Their new dog, the whole ordeal brought back memories for Amy about when Zach was younger and he would go through the same pain. This has been an ongoing issue for Zach, and Chris and Amy are cute, holding hands on the couch like newlyweds, and Chris says that, of course, he missed Amy's cooking. These are, they're too cute. Then the conversation quickly goes to the house on the farm. Chris knows he needs to talk about drama. He's getting filmed. He's doing the work. They talk about the house being rented. As we know, Matt couldn't sell the north side of the farm in the big house, so it's an iTrip rental. Actually, Jeremy rented it over Christmas, and Amy says it's just weird for her that the house she lived in for 30 years is a short-term rental. She said, it should go to family. And she's right. Zach is now recovering, but he can't bend down or lift anything. And Zach says that his head is still kind of aching. Tori is basically taking care of everything, filming a TV show, taking care of Zach and the 3 kids. Tori says that it was the most terrifying experience of her whole life. And I can understand that. Zach says that he feels like dads should not be this much of an inconvenience to their family. The kids need to go places and there's things to do. He feels guilty for having a medical issue, and I'm just really feeling bad for Zach. He's opening up and, he's having I feel like he's having some anxiety over what happened, which is totally understandable. Now we're with Karen and Matt on Roll-Off Farms. They're coming over to the big house, to the rental. Matt says that the ultimate goal is still to sell the north side, but he's going to do the short-term thing now while the economy is kind of iffy. And they're talking about how it's not exactly family staying at the house. Once they found a pool cue in the wall, people were filming stuff and they didn't know exactly what, or if it was nefarious or what. And then they start talking about how Matt told Zach 4 years ago the headaches were the shunt, and that ultimately it was what everyone thought it was. It comes off a little shady, almost like, yeah, I knew it was the shunt 4 years ago. He should have done this years ago. I don't know. That's how it came across to me. The status of the relationship between Matt and Zach is that Matt thinks that they still need space, so he does special occasion appearances once in a while. He'll drop in, but respects their space. He then goes on about how the family pulled together when it mattered. And, excuse me, what did Matt do? It was basically all Amy. From what I saw, they were just kind of like in Arizona, probably messaging and sending good thoughts, but Amy did the heavy lifting in terms of that. Matt and Karen then definitely take the mule to look at the foundation of their new home that they're beginning to build on the farm. I think by now they're living in it, but Matt and Karen will still be going to Arizona a lot, but they want a nicer place to stay and a fun place for the family to hang out. Too bad there's so much family drama that I don't even know who's going to go visit, but maybe they can mend some fences to make this place, happening with a lot of grandchildren coming over. Matt and Karen talk about, maybe we'll get married, maybe we won't. And we know the engagement is coming. I don't know if this is like foreshadowing. Heck, they're probably already engaged and are waiting to make an episode out of it. Like, I don't know why they're even mentioning this. And then Zach and Tori start to talk about Zach's anxiety about his headaches, how he keeps getting these. He says headaches, not migraines, and he's overthinking it and thinks, oh no, what if it's the shunt? He says that he couldn't imagine Tori having to have the conversation with the kids about dad never coming home. And so his anxiety is really apparent to me here. I feel so bad. It's clear that Zach is just going through something. It probably was very traumatic what happened to him. And he does mention that it's medical trauma. Poor Zach, honestly. And now we switch to It's Raining Cats and Dogs on Roloff Farms. And Amy is on the farm taking their dog Daisy for a walk. And Karen and Matt meet up with them and they start talking about their new house, the wallpaper, not having a bar. And Amy is trying to look like she's interested, but it's kind of awkward for her. She just kind of sits there and doesn't say anything. Chris, though, seems overly interested, maybe to ease this tension. I just feel like Chris knows how to be on reality TV or something. He knows when to bring something up. He knows, he kind of stirs the pot a little bit. He knows that he needs to, be the one talking because Amy's not going to talk to them about their new house sort of thing. So I just find he knows what to do. He tells Amy, so Matt tells Amy in a bombshell that no one really expected, that when he dies, she gets the farm or whatever he still owns. She doesn't even know how to respond. And Karen says in her confessional that this was actually her idea, by the way, which honestly, kudos to Karen for knowing that's the right thing to do. That way they think it's less complicated and basically leave Amy to deal with the kids. Amy says that she won't believe it till she sees it, but she is smiling from ear to ear. I think she actually likes that idea. But I can legitimately see Matt doing this because it spares him of the very complicated will to make in a way. And with that bombshell, episode 1 of Little People, Big World season 25 is in the books. Do you guys think that Matt will actually give Amy the farm? She doesn't even really believe it, but that curveball I was not expecting, but there was a fair amount of drama and things happening in episode 1. I'll give it that. There's medical stuff, there's, fractured family drama, new houses and things happening. So, let's hope this is a good season. Good start though. All right, guys. Bye.